We do feel that the stock is undervalued, but we also really focus on what we control. And so it's every day working to improve the business, put out great cars, trucks, and crossovers, invest in the future. And we believe if we continue to do that, it will correct over time. I mean, part of it is an industry issue. There's so much concern in the U.S. as it peak, what's going to happen. And so we understand that that's kind of an overarching issue for the industry. We're just going to keep performing.
I do think it's an industry issue. We've talked to a lot of people in the industry, analysts, investors. We've talked to Mike Jackson from AutoNation. One of the things he says when he looks at it is that he thinks, not GM in particular, but the U.S. automakers as a whole, he thinks they're setting production targets that are overly optimistic, and that as a result, eventually, some of the U.S. automakers will have to offer bigger and bigger incentives to sell the number of autos that they're producing. What do you say to a thesis like that?
You know, I think from a U.S. perspective, I think people have been behaving fairly rationally. You know, General Motors, we are incredibly disciplined. We only produce what the market is asking for, and we keep that discipline. I think you see that discipline we have with incentives. You even see that now with the change that we're really driving to lessen our involvement in fleet, especially the less profitable fleet, and get that in balance. So it really strengthens the whole business. First of all, that retail share, and we're growing retail share. Even this year, we've seen good growth. It strengthens the business, it strengthens the residuals. So, you know, there's fundamentals that you have to watch. Every sale is not equal, and that's what we're focused on.
When you do that, when you do things like get rid of some of the non-profitable sales or the ones that weren't very profitable, things to the rental fleets, it ends up impacting your market share. And last I read, I think it was 15.7%, which is the lowest in decades. Does that bother you?
Well, of course, we want to have growth. We want to have profitable growth. But I think when you look at it, you can't just look at share at one point in time. When we look at the portfolio of cars we have out, we just launched the new Chevrolet Cruze, the Chevrolet Malibu. We have mid-size crossovers coming. So from our overall fleet perspective or portfolio, we have a lot of new products coming. So I expect that we'll continue to see improvements there. But the fact that we've been able to grow retail share, you know, over a half a point, 0.6 of a point since the beginning of the year, I think that's really important growth. And so that's what we're looking to drive.
When you talk to somebody like a Jamie Dimon said earlier this month, or Jim Chanos said just earlier this week, that they're concerned about what's happening in the retail leasing space. Again, they're not talking about GM or anything specific, but looking at broader trends in the industry. What do you say to people who start to worry when they see what's been happening, who the loans have been going to?
Well, from a GM Financial Operations, you know, that started, we purchased several years back AmeriCredit, and that was in subprime. And so the knowledge and the discipline that we have, ours is, we aren't seeing that grow, so we don't have a larger share than we've had. So that, I think, is very important. But we also, I mean, I look at metrics on a monthly basis of what's happening there, and we're seeing, we're not seeing an increase in defaults. We're seeing, in defaults, we're seeing a little bit delinquencies, but then that is correcting itself. So it's something that we watch and adjust on a monthly basis.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the I right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.